Bosh, how's it going everybody? My name's TradeX, this is my trading den, and today we're going to do things slightly differently. It's not going to be an episode where I go through an ICT concept in detail, which you probably gathered by the title already. Today we're actually going to talk about something which I feel is far more important. We're going to talk about trading plans, the A to Z of trading plans. So over the past week, I've been building out a template trading plan that I'm going to give back to the community for free. It's actually a snapshot of my own personal trading plan, which has a couple of models in there which you can adopt. It has a journal in there. It also has my position size calculator in there, and it also has data so you can store your back testing. All of this is going to go into the trading plan, and I'm going to give it away. So today we're going to go through everything that we have here on the side. Firstly, we're going to talk about the importance of a trading plan. Then we're going to talk about what needs to go into it. Then we'll run through this template trading plan which I've built out, and then we'll explain how you can go and get yourself a copy of this template trading plan so you can then mold it and adopt it and bring it into your own trading. So guys, if you find value in this video, please do consider smashing like and subscribe. But with that being said, let's get this intro rolling and then we'll jump straight into good stuff. See you on the other side. Okay guys, you can see top right, we do have the trading plan template. We're going to go through this in detail very, very shortly. But firstly, I just want to touch on the importance of a trading plan. Guys, I do see it as being massively overlooked. And I get it. Like when we first start trading, you just want to jump into the charts. You just want to get a feel of things. You want to, you want to know what it feels like. You want to try and make the money, right? You see all the things on Twitter and Instagram. You see all these flashy cars and you want that. It's the society we live in today. But the reality is, there will come a point where you go, okay, this just isn't working, because even if you do get lucky when you start, you're going to give back gains. You're going to end up probably going red at some point. And so you don't know how to manage it, or how are you analyzing, how are you improving? What's your metrics? Like none of that is there without a trading plan. Okay. So I always talk about the bank analogy and prop firms and banks. And if you were starting any business, and forget the fact that you've now got experience. Like let's just start with you have now got experience. That's cool, right? But there's a difference between you with experience and a trader who is consistently profitable. And the trader who is consistently profitable versus you is one that has a clearly defined set of protocols, right? They understand their business, right? If you were to walk into any high street bank and say, look, hey guys, I just want to borrow 50 grand. I've got this idea of, opening up a sock brand, right? Can I have some 50 grand, please? And they turn around and say, well, okay, cool, sure. What's your business plan? And you turn around and say, I like socks. I wear socks every day. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to laugh you. They're going to laugh you out of the bank. But the reality is, this is exactly what you're doing in trading. You're walking into a prop firm and saying, hi guys, can I have 50K to start trading with? They're turning around and saying, have you got a trading plan? And you're saying, no, I'm just going to walk in there and just wing it. And they'll go, okay, fine, we'll do that. But we're going to make it incredibly difficult for you to pass. So much so that you're going to keep coming back. But in order to do that, we want money off you, right? You've got to pay me for the privilege for me to give you money. Do you get the joke? Where the joke sits? The joke sits with you. Okay, so I often say, like, if you are without a trading plan, you're exactly the same as a boat just floating along the Atlantic, meandering aimlessly without any direction. Without a rudder to steer you where you're going. How do you know where you're going, right? So, guys, we need to understand the importance of a trading plan. A trading plan sets the precedent of what you're supposed to be doing day in, day out. And guess what that does? And that removes the two biggest evils in trading that plagues every trader. Emotion, over trading. Why? Because if you have a trading plan that's clearly defined, you have a clearly defined set of models, protocols, risk management strategy, everything that's inside of it, you are literally trading like a robot to your said trading plan. So if it wins, great. If it doesn't, let's analyze it. Why didn't it? Let's backtest it. Let's figure out why. And so it removes any emotion. It removes FOMO because it's not in your trading plan. If you see price running away, great. It's not in my trading plan, right? And also, the other side is the over trading. Well, if your trade is not there in your trading plan, guess what? You don't trade. But if you're turning up to your charts every single day and you're going, I like the look of this, I see this, I see that, I see this looks good. Oh, I saw him do this on Twitter, I saw that on Twitter. Guys, you're meandering aimlessly without a rudder. Your goal today is to create a trading plan which suits you and you as a person. Each trading plan is going to be slightly differently because you have your own personality, your own view on the marketplace. But ultimately, without one, you are hopelessly meandering through this trading world, thinking and hoping with your fingers crossed that you're going to make it a success. The purpose of a trading plan is to give you a set of data that you can analyze so you can continuously tweak it and improve it, right? We have to remove ourselves from this short-term thinking and think long-term. So many traders want that Lamborghini tomorrow. Sure, I have a Lamborghini in 5 years' time. But right now, we have to focus on the long term, not the short term. So how do we do that? Well, firstly, we create a trading plan when we're starting out as a trader. And guess what? As you improve and as you grow, you tweak your trading plan. And then by year 2, year 3, you have a Bible which you revert back to in different market conditions, in different seasons, that you can adopt and put onto the marketplace. Without it, you're turning up to your charts every single day aimlessly, guys, aimlessly. So we need to think long term. If you're in this for the long term, you need a trading plan that you can grow with. So how do you turn those proverbial tides on the prop firm who has put the joke on you? Well, you turn back to them and say, here is my trading plan, right? Not literally, but metaphorically. And I guarantee it, guys, if you have that, you turn the tides in your favor to where you can then pass prop firm accounts, start taking withdrawals, and start making serious gains. But you do that through having a backbone in a trading plan. So I say, to know where you are going, you need to know where you have come from, right? You have to have the history, the data to know where it is that you are going. So how are you analyzing anything without a trading plan? How are you tweaking, molding, developing, engaging, and growing without a trading plan? Right? So I hope this little intro has been a wake-up call to many. The importance of a trading plan cannot be underestimated. It is fundamental to the success of any trader, right? So guys, let's jump into my trading plan template, which I've built for you guys. Break this down so how you guys can then mold it and adopt it for yourself. Let's do that. Okay, part 2 of this episode, guys, is just going to break down what I feel needs to go into a trading plan. Now, this isn't exhaustive, but this is what is in my own personal trading plan, and you can develop this out as far as you want, okay? So let's have a look at a couple. We have entry rules. This is, certain rules that you have that you need to be in place in order to take a trade, right? An example of this would be, trading around higher time frame levels. We'll go through this in detail. Do not worry inside of the template that I've built for you. Also, risk management needs to go into there. So this is your minimum R to R. This is your risk per trade, that sort of stuff. Market conditions. So the conditions that you like to trade in or you want to avoid. For example, you may not want to trade from Wednesday PM onwards during FOMC week. All of this type of information goes inside your trading plan. We have a daily checklist. So a daily checklist for me is essentially what I have to accomplish every day before I start trading. So meditate, stretch, exercise, eat clean, read 20 pages, that sort of stuff. So all of this goes into your trading plan. And then you just want to have a brief paragraph about the style of trader that you are. Are you an intraday trader? Are you a scalper? Are you a day trader? Are you a long-term swing trader? Are you a positional trader? All of that needs to be detailed and broken down into your trading plan. Why? Because all of us are different. Some of us have jobs, some don't have jobs. Some can only work in certain time zones. So all of this needs to be molded into your own personal trading plan so you have a very, very clear picture of what it is you need to be doing when you eventually do step to your charts, right? And then also you just want to touch on the macros, so the algos which you trade around, the time zones, the kill zones that you trade within. And then we want to break down models. So the models that you're looking at, is it an AM session reversal? Is it a 2 p.m. reversal? What are your models that you are looking to trade around the times that you can trade? And then you want to be looking at your entry techniques. Is that a 2022 model? Is it an inverted fair value gap, X, Y, and Z? And then also within those models, you want to be looking at the entries and exits. And this is where it comes down to backtesting data. So what is it within your model that you're looking to frame a trade? Where are you looking to get in? Where are you looking to get out? And what are the entry techniques you're utilizing to get into your trade? All right. And then lastly, probably the most important is your data. Okay. So, your success rate of your trades. And so you can go back and analyze that over the course of a year, 2, 3, 4 years, and so forth. Okay, so guys, that is a brief overview of what goes into a trading plan and what is in the template trading plan. So let's now jump into the trading plan in detail and go through that. Okay, guys, here we have it. We are inside of the trading plan template, and I will give this to you absolutely free, which will be inside of the show notes below. It is on Notion. Don't worry about it. Notion does have free options. You don't have to pay for the premium subscription, for example. And so you guys can adopt this and start developing it and molding it for yourself. There are a couple of models in here which are my own, which have been taken from my trading plan. So feel free to utilize those as well if you wish and develop them out for yourself. But let's get straight into it. So at the start, we have just a brief overview of the importance of a trading plan and what you can find inside of this specific trading plan. Okay. And then we just have my quote in here. Without a trading plan, you are simply a floating boat across the Atlantic, meandering aimlessly without a rudder. All right. Nifty, isn't it? Okay, then below that we have my social links, and then this is where we start getting into the meat and potatoes. All right, so first and foremost, I just want to explain, if you ever see a red text, this is a link out to either a PDF or a separate slide or a slide deck. Okay, so this is a link to my trade journal, and I really like to have a trade journal in my trading plan because the two are intertwined. Okay, the rules that I have in my trading plan, which we will go through, are linked into my trade journal. Let me show you how. So let's click on my trade journal. This will open up to my trade journal page. And in here we have week 1, week 2, week 3, and so forth for each month. And you can just add and duplicate the slides as you go, as you are. And there's no problem with editing this to August, for example. It's very, very easy. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday across the top. And we also just have the number of trades per day. So on Monday, we have trade 1, trade 2, trade 3, trade 4, trade 5, and trade 6. If you're trading over 6, you're balmy, right? You're crazy. But look, if you're a scalper, feel free to add more rows. There's no problem with that. But inside of here, we have trade 1. And this would be the session that you trade, and this will all make sense when we go through the trading plan in a second. The model that you utilize, the entry reason, the exit, the R to R, and your profit that you took. And then above and below each one, you'll see a trade chart and you'll see the rules checklist. Now the rule checklist governs the entire day's trading. And what I put in here is very, very important. Okay, so for me, these are the rules which have been adopted from my trading plan into my trade journal. So, for example, in my trading plan, one of my rules is I have to trade around a higher time frame level. So, was price around a higher time frame level when I took this trade? Was it inside of a model? And did I have a clearly defined entry and exit before my entry? And did I leave the trade to play out as planned? Did I comply with all of my rules? If no, add notes why. Okay, so then I go trade 1. Okay, so this was the trade I took for trade 1. Was it around a high time frame level? Yes. Was it inside the model? Yes, and so forth, right? And 4 was a no. Did I leave the trade to play out as planned? No, because I had work to do. Took low hanging fruit. Okay, fair enough, right? But what all this is doing is it's instilling your trading plan on your trading, right? Which is super important for building discipline, okay? We have two very, very different traders and you as a person, right? There's you when you're sat on your sofa contemplating about life and trading, right? And then there's you tunnel visioned in front of your chart. And look, guys, right? I've been there, okay? I know what it's like when you see an opportunity, you want to jump on it, okay? So all of this enables you to analyze what you did. And it also puts that separation between trade per trade. So if you struggle with over trading, this is a great thing to start implementing that puts separation between your trades. It gives you breathing space, right? It stops you going in and in and in, trying to force your will on the marketplace. So each trade you take, did it comply with your rules? Okay. And so you just do that every single trade. And you just go through each trade. So trade 1, trade 2, trade 3 on the day. All right. And then in here, you can open up another slide deck. And this is where I put my trade chart and my execution window in here. Just so if I want to go back and back test, I've always got that data stored. Data. All right. So that's going to cover this little trade journal. Very, very neat. No bells and whistles. Guys, if you want to use TradeZella or TraderView or something like that, I've got no qualms with that. But ultimately, you want to have something you use. This is a free, entirely free, no bells, no whistles, but very, very functional trade journal, all right, which is yours and that you can utilize. And it's also tailored to your trading plan. Okay, so let's jump back. Let's go back to the trading plan template. And this is where we start getting a little bit more detailed. And what we have in here are trade entry rules. These are the rules which govern how you get into your trade. Super important. So for me, I only trade around higher time frame levels. I must be in a premium or to short or in a discount to go long. All right. So you need to write in here, what are the rules that you are going to adhere to when you are trading? You want to write them in here. Okay. Below that, we have risk management. And as we know, as traders, our fundamental job is to manage risk versus trading. We need to understand that risk management is paramount. So for me, here's a couple of mine which you can utilize, but ultimately you want to put in your own. 3 red trades and I'm done for the day. Minimum 4-to-1 RR per trade. Max 2 red trades per session. And what I mean by session is per kill zone. And then max 5 risk per trade of a trading threshold. That's my risk per trade. But you want to put in your own in here, right? Be as specific as possible. And guys, what I will say at this time, if you don't have a risk management strategy or you want to develop it and understand and develop yours further, for example, some of you may be getting out a bit early, even when you're in on the right side of the move. I have done a masterclass on trade management, part 1 and part 2 on YouTube, which goes through how essentially I manage risk. And it also covers my risk management and position size calculator. So again, guys, I'll put this inside of the trade plan for you guys, and it's entirely free. So again, if you ever see red, just click on it and it will link you to another page. So if you link to this will go to my position size and risk management calculator, and this is enables you to define your risk management strategy and your risk per trade, all right, depending on your trade that you are looking at. Okay, guys, if you want to know how to utilize this document, part 1 of my trade management masterclass on YouTube goes through this in detail. All right. Now below that, market conditions which I avoid. Now this is super important. Essentially, this is what's keeping me out of choppy conditions. But you want to annotate in here what is the conditions that you avoid. It might be certain times, whatever, but you need to be specific about what it is that you want to avoid. So you can grab a couple of mine. When Wednesday PM onwards until after Friday's data release on non-farm payroll week. So I actually did this last week and I had an incredibly successful week. We bagged heavily inside of Red Pill, and it's because of these very, very simple rules that are governed with inside of my trading plan. Another one, New York AM session after a large range during the overnight session. I'll avoid the New York AM session. Why? Because I'm expecting chop. All right. So you want to add in yours. What are the conditions you want to avoid? And again, this is protecting you from that tunnel vision when you're in front of your charts without a trading plan. Without a trading plan, it's very easy to go, oh, I see this, I see that, I see this, I see this, I see that, and forget all of this information that you have stored in your mind. You know this information, but it's not in your trading plan. Write it in your trading plan. All right, personal checklist. Guys, super, super important. I love having this in my trading plan. And essentially, these are things which I have to accomplish before I even contemplate taking a trade. If I do not complete every single one on this checklist, guess what? There is no trade. I'm not allowed to trade that day. Why do I do this? Because it builds discipline. And as we know, discipline is the hardest thing to attain, but it is the most important thing we have to build in order to become consistently profitable. So for me, I have meditate, stretch, read 20 pages. I also own a real estate business, so I have a number of things which I have to do in the morning with that also before I can start trading. So you want to add in yours in here that you specifically have to do in order before you can start trading. Pre-market analysis, for example. If you're just rocking up to charts at 9:30 and going, oh, look at this little 2022 model, guys, come on. There's a difference between a novice trader and a professional trader. How deep do you want to go? And this is the detail you want to be going into, right? Below that, style of trading. Important. A lot of people don't even know their style of trading. If you ask a trader, what's your style of trading, they'll give you like buttons, right? You want to be very, very clear in terms of your style of trading. What is it that you're looking to trade? We're all different, and your personality over time will reflect the type of trader that you are, okay? It's just how it is. And so are you an intraday trader? Are you a scalper? Are you a day trader? Are you a positional long-term trader? What is your type of trading? Where are you looking to trade, frame and trade? Essentially, if you were sat in a pub or down a restaurant, in a fancy restaurant, or you happen to be speaking to an institutional funded investor who said, I really like the style of your trading. I want to put 10 million into your bank account so you can start trading on my behalf. Please tell me how you trade. What would be your elevator pitch, right? This is your elevator pitch. This is your style of trading. You need to know it in detail, okay, so that you know who you are as a trader. Below that is the macros I trade. So the London session, for example, the kill zone between 3 and 6 a.m. I'm looking for a silver bullet in between 3 and 4 a.m. Those are the macros I'm looking to take. But you want to add in all the macros that you are looking to trade around the windows which you can trade. What are the time zones you can trade? Some people have jobs, some don't. Some live in different time zones. What are the periods that you can trade? Why is this important? Because if you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning tired, you might jump on your chart and go, I see something here, right? But that's not good practice, right? What you want to have is very, very clear set of defined windows when you can and can't trade. That keeps you out of that sort of garbage trading, which long term is not a consistently profitable route, all right? It's a one-off. Now, below that, we start getting into the crux of a trading plan. And I know we've probably already gone through quite a lot already, but the reality is we're getting even more deep. Now, we want to be looking at the models that we're looking to trade. And guys, I will interject at this point and say, I do not care which YouTuber or information you put inside of these. If you want to delete my video, go for it. I don't care, right? If you even want to put ICTs himself in here, I don't care, right? But you want to put in here a very, very brief overview of a New York AM session reversal a model that you are looking to trade. And this is one of mine. Let's see. Bosh, how's it going, everybody? Bosh, right? And then another one, opening range breakout, orb. Do we get another Bosh? Bosh, sweet too. Bosh. Another one is a silver bullet. Do we get 3?
Bosh, how's it going, everybody?
3 Boshes, right? So you want to put, you can write these. You don't have to have videos in there, but you can write down that this is obviously a snapshot of my own trading plan. So guys, you're obviously going to have my information in here, but you can delete it if you wish. I don't care. You just need to annotate in there, very, very brief overview, what it is, your trade models that you are looking to adopt. And we get deeper as we go, right? Then you want to look at your entry techniques. So are you looking for 2022 models? Are you looking for a breaker block? Are you looking for an if entry? All of that goes in here. And you want to annotate very, very briefly, what is a 2022 model, okay? Doesn't need to be too specific at this stage, but you want to annotate it in there, okay? And so,
Bosh, how's it going?
Bosh, right? So you have a video on a 2022 model. You also got my if. So if you want to view these at your leisure, feel free to do that. But you want to add in your entry techniques within inside this section. Below that, you want to look at your targets. So if we've got into a trade, how on earth do we get out? And a lot of people, this is where they get stuck. Right? They know how to get in, but they don't know how to get out. And again, watch my risk management part 2 masterclass, which covers how to get out of trades. But standard deviations, for example.
Bosh!
Absolutely smashing the Boshes. So standard deviations, are you looking at premium discount? For example, in a New York AM session reversal, I'll be looking at equilibrium of a range, right? So you need to understand premium discount and the fundamentals of what price is doing. Get it inside of your trading plan, right? So what are the targets you'd be looking at inside of models? And then we start getting detailed, right? So detailed breakdown of the models we are looking to trade. Okay, so for me, a New York AM session reversal is one that is inside my own personal trading plan. So guys, I'll say it here. You could literally just adopt in fact, this trading plan and become successful, right? You could. Now you're going to need to develop it out and put in the gravy on this. You're going to need to put the jus, on this fine meal that we have here. But ultimately, the core is here, the backbone is here, right? So you want to annotate all the steps of a New York AM session reversal. What is happening in a New York AM session reversal? And guys, for you, just for you guys, if you click this red link, guess what? It's going to take you to a link. What is this link taking you to? A PDF of the New York AM session reversal, a full breakdown with examples of a New York AM session reversal. So guys, if you just went onto that and started filling out these steps, hey, guess what? You have the start of a trading plan. Okay, there's an example, and then inside below that, you want to have the entries inside of that model that you are looking to take for your trade, right? So for me, in a New York AM session reversal, I'm looking for a breaker block on the lower time frame after a hit of the higher time frame PD array. Okay, so up here, for example, if a PD array has been met, I'm then looking for a breaker, and that is my entry. All right. But I have secondary, I have tertiary entries, I have variations to it. So, this is all back-tested data, right? So you just want to have your entries inside of your models that you're looking for annotated. Below that, exits. So for an example, New York AM session reversal, I'm looking to take partials off at 50% of the range. Boom, there you go. Guys, you have a model straight off the bat. Boosh, out the park, have it. All right, and then below that, this is below every single model. Okay, so below that, we'll do the same for the Asia London Judah swing. But before we get into that, let's look at this trade model data. So below each model, you're going to have this. And if you click on this, this takes you to a data subpage, all right? And so inside this, all you're doing is essentially creating data for that model, okay, which is hugely important. And again, you can use others, but this is all linked in one document. I like that. I'm also a bit of a manual old school guy, and this is how I like to do it. It keeps me, I find if you just drag and export, I think, it just doesn't, but there's different ways you can do it. So essentially to go New York AM session reversal, 950 macro, was it a win? Yes. What was my R to R? 5 to 1. Did I win? 520. What was the date? And then you just input your file. How long did that take? 10 seconds. And you just do that every single trade at the end of your day. Guys, it takes 30 seconds, right? It probably takes as long as it takes you to get all the data, export it onto a CVS file, to then import it, right? So look, it's not all bells and whistles, but I don't think you need all of that, right? This is a very, very functional, to the point, does what it says on the tin, data analysis, okay? And so you can backtest, you can go back in the future and look over time at how successful is your trading model. How many times do you win? What's your average R to R? That sort of stuff, okay? So all of that is inside of the this trading plan for you, all right, below each model. All right, so below each model. So there you go. You have a full breakdown. You have the New York AM session reversal, a quick overview of it is in the PDF, a downloadable PDF. You want to write all your steps in. You have examples. You can have separate subfolders on your computers of every time you take this trade. Then you want to have your entries for your models, your exits for your models, and then you want to have the data. Okay, and then you do the same for each one, right? So here's an Asia London Judah swing. Okay, steps, example, entries, exits, data. Do the same for 3, 4, however many models you have, right? And you go through it. So guys, this is an overview. This is a template of my own personal trading plan. My trading plan is about 62 pages long, all right? But that is irrelevant. The purpose for you is to develop your own trading plan so that you can put yourself ahead of the rest, okay? Your job is to do what the 95% can't. And we want to be looking to see how we can get 1% better every day. How on earth are you quantifying that without a trading plan or looking at any previous data? Okay, so if you're rocking up at your charts at 9:30 at the moment, guys, and you're wondering why you're inconsistent, but you've been studying trading or ICT for a considerable amount of time, you might have you might want to consider developing out a trading plan. All right, so guys, I hope you found that video useful. Do consider smashing the like and subscribe if you found value, right? Help other people view this content. I have spent a lot of time on this for you guys. I really have. So if you do want to share it, that'd be greatly appreciated. If you want to smash a like and a subscribe, that would also be cool. But I will put a link in the show notes for you all available. So you guys have this. It's on Notion. Notion is free, and you can start developing this out for yourself. And guys, it'd be awesome to see your trading plans. And if you ever want me to help you out, feel free to reach out. I'm also inside Red Pill Trading, which is a private community Discord. And if you guys ever want to jump in there, feel free to hit me up. No problem with that whatsoever. And if you don't, I get it. I don't, to be honest, I don't really care. I don't mind. All right. So without further ado, guys, trade safe, trade smart, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care of yourself, guys. Peace.